We're beginning this lesson with a review on our steps for doing inference problems. State, plan, do, conclude. Inference simply means that we are making approximations and predictions about our population made from a sample. In this lesson, we're going to move on to sample means. When we take a sample mean and we know that our population is normally distributed, it kind of follows that my sample, if I do a sampling distribution, that's many samples taken over a population of some size. It just makes sense that my sample would also be normally distributed. So the mean of the sampling distribution would be the same as the population mean. Take a look here at the subtle difference between this notation. This is the mean of all of the samples. Okay, so as I look at my distribution, where did the mean of the samples lie? And once again, once we do some activities in class, this will make a little bit more sense. This is the population mean. Those are going to be equal. So what's the difference between mu of x bar and just x bar? X bar is the mean of just one sample. Mu of x bar is when we look at that distribution, that normal curve, where does it center? So where does all of the samples center? That's mu of x bar. It's a very subtle difference, and you do need to realize that those are different things. So standard deviation of the sampling distribution. If we know our population standard deviation, we would divide it by the square root of the number of samples. So the question becomes, if we have a normal population, it's very easy to do a estimation on a normal. But what happens when we have a non-normal population? This is definitely more realistic than the information in a population being normally distributed. It very rarely happens. There's a theorem in statistics called the central limit theorem, and those of you who've taken calculus probably think, well, that sounds more like a calculus rule than it does for statistics, and there are some tie-ins. There is a calculus background to this. We will not be getting into the calculus behind this. In a simple random sample of size n from any population mean, mu, and your standard deviation, when n is large, then the sampling distribution mean is approximately normal. So if I take all of these samples and find their mean, they will create a normal distribution. And we're going to see this happen in class. I've got a great activity for this. Just like inference with our proportions, we have three conditions we have to meet before we can proceed with inference or an approximation. So suppose that x bar is the mean of a simple random sample of size n drawn from a larger population with a mean and standard deviation. If the following conditions are met, then we can see that our distribution is approximately normal. So here, let's go through our three conditions. Just like proportions, our first condition is the random condition, and this will either be stated in the problem. It might say simple random sample, it might say the sample was taken randomly, or you can assume it. That would be like our M&M problem. We could assume that they were well mixed and that they were not placed into bags either with bias or some kind of methodology, that they were just thrown in there randomly. Just like in proportions, we have the independence rule that we need to assume or from the problem figure out if our sample size is no larger than 10% of our population, because if we take too much out, then we lose that independence. And the last one is a little bit trickier. This one is where things change and where you really need to know whether you are doing inference on a mean or inference on a proportion. So the normal large sample condition has changed. So for means, it could be one of these three things. First, if it says the population is normal, it doesn't matter what the sample size is. Doesn't matter what the sample size is. You can take a sample of 2, and your distribution of your sample, your sampling distribution, will still be normally distributed. So it just has to have one of these three things be true. Number 2, n is greater than 30. So as long as our sample size is greater than 30, then that means that our distribution will give a normal approximation. Once again, we're going to see that demonstrated in class. Or this is the trickiest one. If you can sketch the sample and it looks roughly normal, so this is the sample, not its mean. So let's say I take a sample of 20 and I sketch it, and most of my values are in the middle and unimodal and roughly it's roughly symmetric, then you can go ahead with an approximation, a normal approximation. This is rare that you have to do it, but I have seen it happen on an AP exam, and we'll go through an example where it does. Okay, then the sampling distribution of X bar is approximately normal. In the second half of this lesson, we're going to actually look at an example so you can see how it's all put together.